So today was indeed the expedition in Arc Raiders, and I have indeed wiped my character. Like most players that will be doing the wipe, we will have to focus on a brand new skill tree. So after 800 hours, I am going to give you the best skill tree build in Arc Raiders. So let's hop right into it. So if you have indeed done both expeditions, you should have 11 expedition points to spend on the skill tree to start you off even before leveling up. Now, today we are going to start off here on mobility, and with them 11 points, I would definitely be starting off with Nimble Climber, moving up then into Marathon Runner and also Youthful Lungs. So we have 3 points gone into mobility, and then we're going to put another 2 more points right in here like so. It is essential to be focusing on stamina early game in Arc Raiders to help you get around the map a little bit quicker, so you can loot things up that little bit quicker as well. So Youthful Lungs, Marathon Runner and Nimble Climber, we'll have some points distributed between them 3 perks just to get you a little bit of stamina here to start off with, so you're not running around super slow. Then what I like to do after I spend 5 points is come over here into survival, put a point into Agile Croucher to start this skill tree off. Now we're going to make our way up here into the left hand side. This perk is going to be essential for you getting a little bit more XP a little bit quicker. So the Looter's Instinct perk, what this does is when searching a container, your loot will indeed be revealed a lot faster, which that means you can get around and loot up boxes quicker when you use Marathon Runner, Youthful Lungs and Looter's Instinct all together. Getting more XP and getting back to where you were before you done the expedition is going to be the key here. So we're going to put a couple of points here into survival. We're going to go Looter's Instinct, 2 more points in there, so it's going to be sitting at 3, and then we're going to come back down here to Revitalizing Squat. So after we do 1 skill point into Revitalizing Squat, we're then going to come into in-round crafting. Now this is going to be a super handy perk for when you're topside, as you're going to be lacking in a lot of gear and items anyway, so it's really good to get the ability to craft items while topside. Now we'll have 6 in survival and 5 in mobility, so let's make our way back here towards mobility again. We're going to put a couple of points into Youthful Lungs and Marathon Runner just to max these both perks out. So we're sitting at mobility on 11 now. So now you should be getting around the map fairly quick. So what you want to do is put a couple of more points here into Looter's Instinct. So we're going to keep focusing here on the survival side of things until we get a couple of perks up. So we need to get survival up to 15 to be able to get one of our main perks here for the survival. So let's start pumping a couple of points in here. We are going to go with Agile Croucher, a couple of points in there. There's 3 out of 5 now for that. Then we can come back over here then, and Silent Scavenger, we're going to unlock this one as well and put a couple of points into it. So there we have 15 points in it. We're sitting at 3 out of 5 for Agile Croucher, 3 out of 5 for Revitalizing Squat, 5 out of 5 for Looter's Instinct, 3 out of 5 for Silent Scavenger, and 1 out of 1 for in-round crafting. And we have used a total of 26 points here. So when you're picking your first perk in survival, it really does all come down to playstyle. So we have the Good as New perk, which is while under a healing effect, stamina regeneration is increased. So what this perk is good for is if you're using fabrics while topside to heal yourself, you will get a stamina boost with that. And then we have the Suffer in Silence perk, which is while critically hurt, your movement makes less noise. Both of these perks are decent enough, but for this one we are going to be going with the Suffer in Silence. So one of the main reasons why I like to go for Suffer in Silence is because I can get broad shoulders, and this will indeed increase the maximum amount of weight that I can carry. So I'm going to pump 3 points here into broad shoulders, and that'll bring us up to a total of 30 points used. Once after we've put 3 points into broad shoulders, I like to come up here to Looter's Look, which is while looting there's a chance to reveal twice as many items. So once again, another 3 points into that. That's another 3 levels for you. And then you can also come over here into Traveling Tinker and unlock that one as well. That will unlock additional field items to craft while topside. So we're going to come down then, and we're going to get the As Good as New perk, and it's going to open up this side for us here. We can get Stubborn Mule then. Stubborn Mule is a very good perk, as your stamina regeneration will be less affected by being over encumbered. So this will give you the chance to carry more items, get more items out. The more you can loot, the more XP you're going to be getting from looting up containers and whatnot. But you should be looting up containers even if they're opened, if you want to be getting more XP anyways, because even if the container is opened, you should be opening it to get more XP. So we're going to start maxing out a couple of points here in survival, because we need to get this up to 36. So we're going to max out all the perks that we have already selected in this row here. Get to 5 out of 5 for them. So we need 3 more points to be able to come up here and get security breach, I would definitely recommend going for security breach, as there has been a really good buff done to the security breach lockers, and it is well worth getting. 2 points in here into 1 Raider scrap and another point into 3 deep breaths, and that will give us the security breach. That will be one of the big perks unlocked for you, and you definitely should be going for security breach, because it will indeed help you get a lot of weapons, a lot of cash back, and even get you some extra blueprints while trying to get yourself back to where you were before this expedition started. After that, we're going to come here into mobility, and we need to get this up to 15 points, so we can throw 4 points into Nimble Climber so we can get carry the momentum. Then after you get carry the momentum, you're going to be getting effortless roll. So I like to throw a couple of points into effortless roll, as this is a very good perk. I would be going 5 out of 5 with this one. And after that, then I like to focus a little bit on condition with the points that I have left. So we're going to come in here into condition. I'm going to show you some of the best perks that you should be using in this side of the skill tree. So we're going to start off with Use to the Weight to get this one started. So to get this one going a little bit more in the conditioning side, I like to come over here to Gentle Pressure, which makes less noise while breaching. And then we have the Proficient Prior, which is breaching doors and containers takes less time. You want to be maxing that out. Super handy late game to be opening up them containers a little bit quicker to get you that little bit more XP quicker. And once again, the Proficient Prior will work hand in hand with Looter's Instinct, and if you have your mobility up as well, you should be flying that around the map, looting up containers super quick and getting your XP up to get you back to the max level. So we are indeed going to max out Use to the Weight here with the rest of the points that we have left over, and also Gentle Pressure is going to get maxed out as well, and that will indeed open up Unburdened Roll. With Unburdened Roll, if your shield breaks, your first dodge roll within a few seconds does not cost you any stamina whatsoever, so we're going to go for that perk right there. So you want to come into this middle section here, which is a little extra. Breach an object generates resources. It's a little handy way to get more materials from breaching objects. Then we're going to be going for Loaded Arms. Loaded Arms is a very good perk, and I recommend going for it, as your equipped weapon has less impact on your encumbrance. So now we're going to be sitting at 37, 21 and 18 here. Now we have a couple of more points to be spending, so I like to come back into mobility, and we're going to get Crawl Before You Walk. This is when you're down, you will indeed crawl faster, but this will indeed open up Vigorous Vaulting, and vaulting will be no longer slowed down while exhausted. A very good perk in the mobility side of things. I would highly recommend staying away from Slip and Slide, Sturdy Ankles and Cam and Stroll, as these perks have been proven to be absolutely useless. So we want to come back down here into conditioning and put 5 points into Blastborn. Your hearing is less affected by nearby explosions. This is actually a very handy perk when in PvE, as there's so much explosions going on. When you're fighting against certain arc, it can be very hard to hear certain audio cues and certain situations of what's actually happening. So Blastborn is actually a very decent perk, and I would recommend throwing 5 points into that as well. Then we also have the Fight or Flight perk, which I would recommend throwing the rest of your points in here into Fight or Flight. So this is indeed a really good PvP and PvE skill tree. I would definitely recommend choosing this, but if you are heavily PvP focused and you only like to play in trios and you love queuing into Stellamontes, I would definitely recommend putting a few more points into Crawl Before You Walk, Down But Determined, and also Turtle Crawl. They are 3 very good perks for PvP squads. But to start off, focusing on Security Breach, especially if you're a PvE player, Security Breach has been buffed, and it is very good at the moment. This is what I think is one of the best skill trees in the game at the moment. Hope this one helps you out. That's all for now, and I shall talk to you in the next one.